What's up, guys? Welcome to session 73. Hi, Mr. T.
Hi, Mr. Mendoza. How are you?
I'm fine. Welcome to the class. Welcome, everybody. Today, we want to learn how to ask questions in two different ways. It's a conversation technique, so please stay with us. If you haven't subscribed to the channels, please hit the subscribe button and like the videos, and don't forget to leave a comment. Let's start. So we have this question here. Do you go straight home? Do you go straight home? So what does this mean? Do you go straight home? So when you go straight home, it means you just go home. You don't go to a supermarket. You don't do anything else. It means after, for example, after class or after work, you go straight home. It means just going home and not doing anything else. Okay. Let me ask you a question. After exercise, do you go straight home?
Yes. Just
You
straight
don't do
home.
anything. You just go home. Okay. Well, let's get started. Part one, conversation strategy, asking questions in two ways. This is the technique that we learn in this session. Okay. Part A, what do people often do after class? So imagine you go to a class. It's a face-to-face class. It's not online like this. Please think about 6 actions that people do after class. Can you tell me what activities people do after class?
After class,
Yes.
go to shopping, go to cafeteria, go to library, and go to mall, go grocery.
Yes. These
Anything
are
else?
different. Yeah, okay. A lot of different actions people do, just like meeting friends, go to a coffee shop, as you said, library, or maybe do homework, or maybe go grocery shopping. Yes, it depends. Anyways, let's move on to this part. We have this conversation. You can see the picture of Gabby and Stan. So these people are classmates. They are in the same class. Can you please look at the picture and tell me what do they study?
I can't see.
Can you zoom? Can you look at the book and tell me what do they study?
Melody?
Yes, they study music, right?
Yeah.
Melodies and music. That's what they study, okay? So what do you think they are talking about? What is the conversation about?
About class, maybe.
Yeah, maybe about the class. That's right. That's right. Very good. Okay. So in this conversation, we have some words that I want to tell you. Here are the words. In this conversation, we have after class, we have meet a friend. These words are in the conversation. And the last one is the food's good. The food's good, or the food is good. So these expressions are in this conversation between Gabby and the other person. Can you tell me what is the conversation about? Can you guess the topic of the conversation?
I don't know. After class, meet boyfriend. Go to home.
They
After
go home maybe, okay?
after class, they are what they do.
Yes, yes, maybe about the things that they do after class. Maybe they meet a friend, right?
Yeah.
They see a friend. And maybe after that they go to a restaurant
Yeah.
because they say the food is good. Or maybe they meet a friend at a restaurant, okay? We don't know. Anyways, let's start. So we have this conversation between Stan and Gabby. Please listen and answer the question. What does Gabby do after class? So first, we just listen to the conversation. We don't look at the words or anything. Please listen carefully and try to answer this question here. What does Gabby do after class? Let's get started.
Page 48, Lesson C. Do you go straight home? 1. Conversation strategy. Asking questions in two ways. B. Listen. What does Gabby do after class?
So, what do you do after class? Do you go straight home?
Well, usually. Sometimes I meet a friend for dinner.
Oh, where do you go? I mean, do you go somewhere nice?
Do you know Fabio's? It's okay. I mean, the food's good, and it's cheap, but the service is terrible. Do you know it?
Well, actually, I work there. I'm a server.
Okay, so what does she do after class?
She meet the friends for dinner.
That's right. Okay. Sometimes she meets friends for dinner, and usually she goes straight home, right?
Yeah.
So she usually goes straight home, and sometimes she meets dinner at Fabio's. Well, so we have this conversation here. Let's check that again. I am going to read Stan. You read Gabby. Ready?
Yeah.
Okay. So what do you do after class? Let me zoom. What do you do after class? Do you go straight home?
Well, usually sometimes I meet a friend for dinner.
Oh, where do you go? I mean, do you go somewhere nice?
I can't see. Please come up. Do you know Fabio's? It's okay. I mean, the food's good and it's cheap, but the service is terrible. Do you know it?
Well, actually, I work there. I'm a server. Okay. So as you can see, she said, do you go straight home? Usually I go straight home. Sometimes I meet a friend for dinner. That's the answer for the question here. Now let's talk about the conversation strategy. Part C, notice how Stan asks questions in two ways. His questions are clear and not too direct. Find examples. So for example, we have, so what do you do after class? Question 1. And then I use another question. Do you go straight home? It's question number 2. So both of these questions have the same answer. Okay? Where do you go after class? Do you go straight home? That's 2 questions. I can use 2 questions in conversation to ask other people when I don't want to sound really direct. Can you find some other examples that they ask 2 questions?
Do you go somewhere nice?
Yes. Where do you go? Question 1. Do you go somewhere nice? Question 2.
Yeah.
Anything else? No.
No.
Just these 2. Okay, very good. Now, here we go. So we have this conversation, we practice this, we learn how to use 2 questions in a conversation. Now, I want you to look at the conversation again and make 2 questions and write it down in the comments. For example, we have these examples here. Well, for example, do you read books? This is question number 1. Can you make another question for this? Think about it. Or another example is, do you go shopping every day? Every day. Please think about these questions and make another one, make 2 questions to make meaning more clear. Let's do it for number 1. Do you read books? Mr. T, can you please tell us one more question? Do you read books or?
Do you cook dinner every night?
About reading books, not about dinner. Do you read books? Maybe you can ask about library.
Do you read newspaper in library?
Yes. Or do you read newspaper? That's 2 questions. Okay. Now for this one, guys, I want you to write your question in the comments. Do you go shopping? I want you to think about it and write a question about shopping. Please comment for us. We'll check it. Thanks for watching us. See you next session.
Bye bye.